With the escape of Jedi Master Even Piell from the dangerous prison known as the Citadel, the warden Osi Sobeck received a transmission from an unhappy Count Dooku. The Sith apprentice ordered the warden to recapture the prisoners, and Sobeck released a dangerous pack of predators known as Anoobas, as well as a group of battle droids. Obi-Wan, Anakin and R2-D2 create a diversion which lures most of the Anoobas, but Master Piell and Ahsoka's team are ambushed by a group of single droid aerial platforms and crab droids. Master Piell and Ahsoka are separated from the rest of their team, and they begin to dismantle the crab droids. When Master Piell was stabbing the final droid, an anooba attacked Piell by surprise, fatally wounding the Jedi Master. Ahsoka jumps in from higher ground to force push the beast, but it is too late. Master Piell has to tell Ahsoka half of the coordinates of the Nexus route, with the promise that only the Jedi Council can know about it. But what if Master Piell had survived? How significant would his presence be? What would happen to the Nexus route coordinates? As you're about to discover, Master Piell's survival will be important for the future of the Republic. Stabbing the crab droid, Master Piell sensed the danger of an anooba and quickly rolled away. Force pushing the anooba into the distance, the Jedi complete their rescue with the additional reinforcements of Plo Koon. Flying back to Coruscant, Master Piell is insistent that only the Jedi Council can know about his half of the Nexus route coordinates. The coordinates could prove to be crucial, as they could help to shorten the distance between the territories of the two sides. After Yoda goes to discuss this with Palpatine, Yoda wishes for both sides to share the information with each other, but Master Piell is stubborn in his wishes. With no choice, neither side can get the full coordinates for now. Moving through the Clone War, Master Piell's survival does not have much of an impact until the trial of Ahsoka. Denied access to seeing Ahsoka before her trial, Anakin's fury at Tarkin cannot be contained. He may have agreed with his views on the war, but the treatment of Ahsoka would not be tolerated. As Tarkin stood in the centre of the tribunal, Anakin brought Barriss into the courtroom. Without hesitation, Anakin lifted Tarkin into the air, and he had to be restrained by a couple of temple guards. But this was not over. After Anakin had been warned by the Jedi Council, as usual, he decided to ignore these warnings. Going to Master Piell's new flagship, Anakin dismisses the clones, then lifts him into the air again. The clones are not surprised by Anakin's aggression, and clutching his throat, Tarkin claimed he was only doing his duties for the Republic. Anakin pushed Tarkin into a wall, telling him he should have left him at the Citadel, and how ungrateful he had been, despite Ahsoka saving his life. Torturing the Admiral further, Anakin invades Tarkin's mind, and coerces him into sharing his half of the Nexus route coordinates. Tarkin complies, and Anakin leaves him for the clones to clear up. Going back to the Jedi Council chamber, the Council are even more unhappy, and assign Anakin to temple guard duty as punishment. Giving the remainder of the coordinates, Anakin trudges off. Walking aimlessly through the corridors of the Jedi archives, Anakin ended up outside, and he felt to notice a stun blast in his direction as he collapsed to the floor. Waking up in a cell, he is unsurprised to find Count Dooku, and the Sith apprentice asks Anakin for the coordinates. Anakin refuses to give in, and Dooku leaves him to make up his mind whilst being tortured by Magna Guards. Anakin wastes no time without Dooku's interference, snatching an electro staff away from the Magna Guards and using it to destroy the rest. Spotting his lightsaber nearby, Anakin force-pulled it to his hand, used it to cut the barriers, and leapt through the window to the outside. It was not what he had expected to see. With the Nexus coordinates at risk, most of the Jedi Council was busy fighting off the droid army, and Anakin joined them. With the Council's help, Anakin escapes with the knowledge of the coordinates, and they go to Coruscant. Chancellor Palpatine is waiting for Anakin, and beckons him to his office. Luring Anakin into talking about the Citadel, Anakin stops as Palpatine asks him for the Nexus route coordinates. Going back to the temple, the Council now hold a strategic advantage, even if they didn't know it. Yoda tells Anakin to give Palpatine the coordinates, putting Palpatine in a difficult position. If he used the coordinates, he would have to eliminate the Jedi in one move. The Jedi continue to wage their brutal war, and the only game was blood. Finally, the Sith moved, as Grievous and Dooku used the Nexus route to get to Coruscant. The final fight had begun. Gazing out of the window of the Council Tower, the Jedi saw the Separatist fleet homing into view. This was the moment they had been waiting for. The Chancellor had revealed his hand, and he had shared the Nexus route coordinates with the Separatists. The Jedi send 4 Council members to the Chancellor's office in a gunship, and as they arrive, they prepare themselves to battle a dark being. Entering the Chancellor's office, they expect to see the Chancellor in his customary seat, but he had vanished. Looking for any clues as to where he could be, they hear from behind the sound of hundreds of blasters clicking. The clones waste no time in executing Order 66, and Saesee Tiin and Agen Kolar are flattened. Yoda and Mace Windu react to the situation, blasting out of the building to a trail of gunfire. Going to the Jedi Temple, Yoda defends the younglings from the Council Chamber, whilst Windu gathers up the remaining Masters and Knights. Not much of their order remains, and they all go to the one remaining flagship of Master Piell. Evading the gunfire from the clones, they all scramble into the tight confines of a single gunship and fly into space. Pursuing Palpatine from their new location, they look for the flagship of Grievous, and it is not difficult to spot. The 1 kilometer long dreadnought dominates the airspace, and it rapidly fired its ion cannons at the Venator-class Star Destroyer. The Jedi flagship soon erupts into flames, forcing its passengers to take to the skies in starfighters. Forming behind Anakin, the Jedi swoop in, avoiding the proton torpedoes to skid to a halt in Grievous's hangar. Leaping out, they are met by a wall of clones. The Jedi acrobatically slice through their former friends, and pierce the thick blast doors to the next level. Here, they are met by the cyborg himself, with a whole legion of droids. Obi-Wan leads the charge, and he launches towards his familiar foe. With the aid of the droids, Grievous pushes Obi-Wan back into the first hangar, where Master Piell and Anakin clear the droids. The Magna Guards do not prove to be too difficult, but the sheer quantity of droids delays their progress. Finally, they reach Obi-Wan, and with his small frame, Master Piell distracts Grievous, and it allows all of the other Jedi to combine to down the cyborg. By now, they are exhausted, but have to continue for their honour. Going to the bridge, there are more teams of droids, and behind them is both Dooku and Palpatine. Going straight for the Sith Master, Anakin is hit by a bolt of Force lightning, projecting him backwards. Palpatine would not allow Plagueis' visions of Anakin to become true. Running his lightsaber through the controls, the ship's alarms begin to scream, and the Jedi slip back towards Anakin. Getting to their feet, Palpatine and Dooku cast a wall of Sith magic to block their path, but the returning Windu and Yoda send them back with the Force. With the Force battle becoming a stalemate, all the other Jedi try to push through, but are immediately bounced back. Dooku was the first to lose his energy, and the Force deflection cannons upwards through the ceiling, opening the ship to the elements. Hanging on to the closest wall, the ship began to freefall, and everyone was desperate in their need for survival. Landing on the surface below, the battle had quietened to a hush, before all the remaining Force users staggered to their feet. Anakin pounced first, pointing his lightsaber at the throats of the Sith, and he dismembered them, to leave them in the hands of the Jedi Temple guards. Rushing over to the Senate building, Anakin is relieved to find Padme, and he declares that the Chancellor was the Sith Lord in disguise. Whilst a trial was prepared for the Sith, Anakin carried the Jedi over to the Jedi Temple Halls of Healing, just as another ship entered the atmosphere. Not prepared for another encounter, he is relieved to find it was a small fighter containing Ahsoka Tano and Captain Rex. Going to the tribunal that was already set up, Palpatine and Dooku are charged for their war crimes, amongst many others, and are set to be executed. Just then, the small footsteps of Master Piell stepped into a pod, and he requested that the Sith to be sent to the Citadel. After murmurings from the Senate, the new fate of the Sith is decided. The Jedi soon recover, and taking a secure gunship, they place the Sith in the darkest cells, never to be seen again. The Jedi Council are fortunate that Master Piell had been stubborn enough to keep the coordinates, as it had saved their order for generations. That is it for What If Even Piell had survived. If you enjoyed this What If, please like this video, turn on your notification bell, and subscribe for more What Ifs. And as always, leave a comment on what If you'd all like to see next, and how I can improve my videos. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.